This is pretty ugly. If you don't know, Ethan Van Sciver, of course, has been messing with Eric July over and over and over again, and that's his entire thing he does. It's all his whole shtick now, and he's got nothing else. He's not working on comic books. He's not building a movement of conservatives and Christians leading a culture against, the woke left or anything like that. It's just a derangement at this point because he's getting, I guess, incentivized by Dick Masterson's trolls for super chats, and so he's decided to pivot from becoming a comic creator because it's a lot of hard. It is a hard work to be a comic creator, and actually do your work and put books out over and over again. I spend full time doing that, and it's a lot, but I love it. The reason I do it is because I love comic books, I love storytelling, and that's what we do over here. And so he kind of forsook that and forsook that audience for just full time Eric July hatred. Well, that spilled over to attacking a guy named John A. Douglas, who's a great member of sort of the Iron Age and Rippaverse community. Who he's a reader, he's a writer, everybody likes him. It's one of those guys who's just a wonderful guy who's supremely talented, and is so good for the movement. Well, John A. Douglas got banned from YouTube the other day, and because of that, this gal, her name's Kristen, got on Ethan's radar. Now, Kristen's been doing great work on her YouTube channel as well, which is amazing. And she's an editor. She's into science fiction and fantasy, and she's been covering the fact that fantasy books and the like are not um, are not catering towards men at this juncture. And everything in bookstores is just like this weird like women's lit stuff like with fantasy skins on it, and it's like there's no just action adventure stories anymore. It's really weird. Doing a great job on that. Well, this got on her radar that Eric July was working with Nerdrotic to do his new Rippasend for Nerdrotic's memoir. And Nerdrotic is working on a memoir. And I get people are saying there's a ghostwriter involved. I don't know what the specifics are on that. It's possible there are. And actually, if Nerdrotic hasn't really written things before, it's smart to work with a ghostwriter who actually can take down notes and sit with him for hours to interview him about his life and actually compile it in a written way that makes sense. That's actually what most people do for their memoirs and the like. And I don't know what the specifics are about how much he paid or whatever, but that's smart business. And Nerdrotic's going to make a killing on his memoir. And that, of course, offends Ethan Van Sciver because Ethan Van Sciver likes to control who's allowed to sell books and the like. So that's what we have going on right here. Now, I do want to highlight real quick before we get too far into this that I am a science fiction and fantasy author, and I've been working and making comics and working really hard since day one. And so I've been a part of building a movement for Christians and conservatives in science fiction and fantasy and comic books. And I would love for you to get on my newsletter. I don't have a crowdfund going right now or anything like that. We just fulfilled the Emerald Array. If you've been following me on X, which you should as well, you've seen that a lot of people have been getting their books, absolutely loving it. I'm just so excited for how enthusiastic people are about my new Terran Imperium, which I'm building out into multiple lines of books. We have 9 graphic novels in development. I'm working on multiple novels as well. I spend all day just working on books because it's about reading. It's about getting people reading again. And I really appreciate you guys being here. Our community is growing so fast. We just hit 1,000 members on Discord. Our Substack just got over 5,000 members. My newsletter is approaching 8,000 members. I mean, it's like, it's really cool. Thanks, guys. And it's because we are sticking with the truth in what's going on. And of course, building what ComicsGate was supposed to do in advance and building a wonderful network of books and things like that for you to read. So get on my newsletter. It's in the description below. You get 3 free books for doing so. Thank you so much, guys, for signing up. And thank you, everybody who has this month. We've got a couple hundred new member people. It's only June 6th. Amazing. Thank you. And we have an online web store as well. So if you have not checked out my books before, I have all of my novels right here. Science fiction, fantasy, good stuff. I've got some t-shirts you guys can check out if you like. I like my Repent one. Pretty good. And then we've got comics and graphic novels. The Terran Imperium I just referenced actually starts in this book, Overmind. If you haven't read it here, wonderful stuff. If you like the band's Destinies like Valerian and Laureline, old Star Wars stuff, you are going to love this. Thank you. for checking things out and supporting our channel, supporting comics and reading. And just to make it easy on you, like we have digital versions too. So you don't have to like break the bank or anything like that. Just read, 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 read. That's what this is all about. Thank you guys for being here. This is The Real Movement. I'm glad you're here. All those links are in the description below. And thank you again for being great comic readers. Now, I prefaced all this just kind of showing exactly what was going on here. So this woman covered this and just started talking about how Nerdrotic's going to make a killing on this, and it's obvious on what's going on, and you know it's probably good that he hired somebody professional to work on things. Well, Ethan Van Sciver took this, and this got really weird and really creepy and dark real quick. As we're going to actually, I don't usually set it up to actually watch video, but the clip of this is just nasty. And I'm just looking at like he just keeps talking about this woman's breasts over and over and over again in just the creepiest way. I mean, can you imagine? This is massive gamma male craziness that I can't believe is online, and I can't believe he's sinking this load. And the reason that he's doing this again is she's just saying, "Hey, Nerdrotic's going to make good money on this," and he can't handle that. It just bothers him that Nerdrotic's successful, bothers him that Eric July's successful, bothers him that it's going to be on Rippasend, bothers him that John A. Douglas is interviewing with this woman on her Substack after he got banned from YouTube. It's all like, you know, he wants to control who you're allowed to like and who you're allowed to listen to. Now, this woman's worked on, she's done ghostwriting herself. She's done a lot of editing herself. This is a really, really talented individual who does amazing, amazing work and has been in the industry for a long, long time. And so this is, again, just you should be respectful a little bit and a little bit professional on this level. And I guess that's just a lot too much to ask for ComicsGate at this point. So let's listen to how bad this is.
But that's not what goes on. You know, when you buy a book written by somebody, it's...
And of course, it's not going through my headphones right now. It's going through my speakers, which I hope it's actually coming through on the chat here. So let's try to get into this real quick. See if we can do this. YouTube technical problems. I should have sorted this out before starting recording, of course. All right, I'm gonna make sure that you actually heard it, even if I didn't. Okay. Excellent. Okay. And so here is what we have right here. Let's check this out.
It's never written by that person. I think that's fraudulence. I think it's a hoax and a scam. I think
every autobiography out there is, quote, fraudulent and a hoax and a scam. Now, by the way, this is just because Nerdrotic's doing it, because he doesn't care about this ever. He's never talked about anything about ghostwriting or anything before, ever. So this is ridiculous, but whatever.
I think it's a grift. These people like this big-breasted harpy right here. Sorry.
How nasty is this? Now, this woman is talking about the business implications of ghostwriting and just what this is, and is this guy going to make money on this? It doesn't have anything to do with Ethan Van Sciver. And listen to the way he this big-breasted harpy. Who talks like that? This is gross, and it's very clear what he's focusing on, and it's not the content here, which is, again, it's just kind of creepy.
Sorry, I mean, lady. I didn't mean to call you big-breasted harpy, big-titted harpy.
Gosh, and he doubles down.
This lady is part of.
Look at that, and like I guess that's what his chat likes and wants. That's the low level bar that they're setting here for their content. It's not, you know, and this is why, again, ComicsGate failed the culture war, because we're not talking about leftism. We're not talking about what Heather Antos is doing with Star Trek and what Marvel Comics is doing and the weird white Black Panther situation that's going on now. We're not talking about that. We're just blasting Nerdrotic, who is doing wonderful work and is super successful and is one of the nicest guys out there. If you've never met him, great guy. All just because Ethan's ego. And this woman, who again has nothing to do with any of this, who's a great book professional, who does really, really good work and makes really, really good, insightful videos, is just getting this creepy treatment for what? Oh, it's so sad to see the fall of ComicsGate.
History of ghostwriters. Anyway, this is what this large-breasted woman had to say.
Again, third time. We're 30 seconds into this video, and he said it 3 times. What's going on here?
Less than. How about this? Less than 10%. I will do the same job, and I have enormous hooters.
4 times.
I will do the same job for less than 10%. Well, what's going to be involved with your $9,000? So you're going to write a little pamphlet about me, and what else do I get for $9,000? What's involved, Gary? What else are you getting for that?
Now, I don't know if Gary's actually paying 100,000 or not. I mean, but again, for hours of work, if Gary is interviewing for 10, 20 hours with somebody and they're recording it and transcribing it and then formatting it together, this could be somebody working a full year on this to get this whole deal done. That's a salary. So there it is. And this is probably going to make a few $100,000 at the very least. So I'm excited to read it. I think Gary's story is inspirational. I think the fact that he came from a situation where it was very, very bad and he changed his life and turned it around and is very inspirational to men and is necessary. And it's a good Christian message that, no matter how far you've fallen, you can always repent and change your life and do things. And that's what our culture should be promoting. Why are you trying to denigrate this over and over? And now you see his chat getting even more disgusting. I'd poke her dots. Oh,
I'd poke her dots, says Kevin Splady.
Full about that.
Yeah. Women don't know how to negotiate. So she dropped a 9K in 5 seconds. Oh, it's so funny. Send us your song poem. It could lead to you having a top 40 career as a pop star. This is insane. Two White says she needs.
Oh, is Joshua Lysek the one writing this? Did Nerdrotic hire Joshua Lysek? I actually don't know the behind. If Joshua Lysek actually is the one ghostwriting this is going to be even better. That guy's one of the most talented, best writers in the entire business, who's done huge things. Holy crap! And again, great conservative, great Christian. This if Nerdrotic really teamed up with Joshua Lysek, holy crap, big W like I've never seen before. This is everything ComicsGate should be promoting. These are all of our people lifting each other up. Like, what is going on here?
She needs a trampoline. Yeah, it's going to do all those things for you guys. Andrew Campbell says, "Can we watch her on mute?" I don't think she's that good. Is she that good?
Jeez, these guys are gross.
I'm going to be on the Dr. Phil show, telling people about hibbity jibbity. What's in the book, bitch?
Now, this is the ComicsGate audience at this point.
36
notice
chest moves.
Notice there's nobody talking about comics. There's nobody talking about books. There's nobody talking about quality of art. There's nobody talking about conservative culture. There's nobody talking about fighting against the SJWs. I mean, this is just it. This is the lowest common denominator, and it's just sick.
She's pulling, says Iran. Dude, she gets right into it. Let's go. This is hilarious. Sure. Holy shit. By the way, yeah, the tattoo on your arm is really... the tattoo on your arm is definitely not giving me the Carney vibe.
By the way, Ethan's got tattoos, as I recall.
But she likes to be punished, this last shadow. Well, I hope so. Because she should be for this. Phantom Mercenary says, I feel like she's trying to hide her milkers. Let me get in with some of these YouTubers.
Jeez, this is all they're talking about.
Hilarious.
There's no substance here.
Dork says, does she even at least throw in a blowjob for the 100K?
Oh my gosh, that's Helmet. I know you watch here too. That's disgusting. Stop it. Stop it. This type of thing is just unacceptable. It really is. And I'm just blown away at how just low of a bar ComicsGate's fallen to at this juncture. And that's what's happening here. It needs to change, and that's exactly why we're building change here, guys. You could see it just in those clips there. There's more of it. I've got it. Maybe I'll upload the whole thing somewhere. But right now, we need to build back better, guys, and we need to build for comics and make comics great again. So get on my newsletter. So important. I'm going to be putting out some great content, great works. Like I said, the Emerald Array just fulfilled. Everybody's loving the book. The Terran Imperium that I'm building with multiple lines in here is just getting better and better and better. And they want you to ignore comic books. That's the entire point, is to have you ignore people who are actually creating culture, who are actually doing it full time, who are passionate about it, who are working hard for comics. That's why he worked so hard to destroy Eric July. That's why he worked so hard to destroy Doug TenNapel, Mike Miller, myself. Anybody who's actually in it for the culture war and for actually building a new culture and building a parallel economy and building something new, they want to tear down. It's sick. And I'm at a loss for words at how low these people have sunk. So get on my newsletter, guys. Hit the like and subscribe button. Let me know what you think about this in the comments. Really appreciate you. NDM Express is where my books are. You can get these directly for me, so you don't have to work with some random SJW company or whatever and give them $1. But yes, we have comics, we have novels, we have t-shirts, we have it on digital. I recommend starting with my Terran Imperium if you've not before. There's a lot for everybody. And I try to just tell different stories. I mean, because I just want I want a whole universe worth of stories. And we're building, and it's so beautiful what's coming down the pipeline. Make sure to get in our Discord community as well. And that's it. This is it. You have to work on building a movement and changing things if we want to build this culture and do what these guys promise. I know everybody got really burnt out because the way Ethan Van Sciver just didn't fulfill his books, the way that your boy Zach didn't fulfill his books, and the way that they just completely turned on a dime. But there's still good out there. There's still great comics out there. And I'm going to keep beating this drum, even though it's like beating your head against a wall. You don't go big algorithms with comics anymore. It's not like the old days when these guys made YouTube channels and they'd talk about, how gay X-Men was and they'd get 100,000 views. Those days are gone because nobody reads anymore. But we're going to do it anyway because it's important. Reading is imperative, and I appreciate you guys being here. We'll be back soon.